Well, hello and welcome to the most unusual tarot reading on the internet. Unusual because it's grounded in the current social, political thought of the moment. And because we add in a couple of other things, it gives you a much better rounded picture. So, yes, the focus is tarot, your ability to manifest, the kryptonite that each one of us has to create pictures in our own head. We create movies in our own head, sound. We can taste, touch, smell. If you're really good at imagining, and you should be, you will be much, much better if you stay away from the electrical stuff. The artificial screens, the desktop, laptop, smartphone, artificial intelligence. Nice to use as a tool, but nothing else. Don't use it to direct your life. Don't use it to make big decisions. Information source. Much of what's on the internet today, and I would say minimal 50%, probably even more than that, 60, maybe 70%, is garbage. It's crap. It's people trying to get views, and they lie, and it's clickbait and whatever it takes. So the kryptonite, the ability to manifest, is something that we're here to increase. We're here to make you stronger. It's from birth. It's a gift from God. We really don't have a chance to begin to use it till we're about maybe 4 or 5. That's when we become prescient, we become self-aware, and we begin to get ideas of things that we like, don't like, that sort of thing. And that's when the kryptonite stuff kicks in. What we do now is try to give you that ability back. It turns out after many studies over several decades, we get dumber as we get older. And it's planned. It's not a natural thing. They've tested kids at about 5 as they're entering kindergarten. Really high creativity level. Almost 100% of the kids. Very high creativity level. By the time they graduate, especially if they get PhDs, it's almost zero. It's been drummed out of them, which is what the education system designed by Rockefeller was designed to do. He said, I want a nation of people who work, don't think. I don't want thinkers. I want workers. And so that's what we're dealing with. And the idea here of this podcast is to get you to fire up those engines, those imaginations, like that kryptonite. And we use the current political system, or the political science, I think might be a better way to say it, of the time that we're in, to help you shape and mold that ability to manifest that kryptonite. We have to do that because in different situations, the manifested energy, the tarot energy, will be used differently. It's not appropriate in this situation, but it's very appropriate in this situation. And what we do in that regard is we bring in numerology and astrology. I've done numerology and astrology for 50 years. They are the science of cycles. They don't predict anything. What they do is they understand cycles. We'll talk more about that in just a bit. And so depending on where you are in the cycle, we can get the energy, we can get the feeling, we can get the ambiance in the world today, and that will help you to manifest in a more effective way. So think of it this way. Tarot, which is the science of potential, your potential. Tarot is our ultimate goal. But it's the cycles or the cyclical nature in numerology and astrology that it's like a river. You're in a canoe and you're following the stream. Well, the tarot lets you maneuver to your destination. Okay? So that's what we're doing for you here, is to get you to step into your fate and use your best tools to manifest, to create the best life possible. Now today, the theme is why. And the correct answer is why not? In society these days, and I don't know that necessarily always has been true, but you want to get in trouble? Just ask powerful people why. Ask them to explain themselves. Try to get honest answers. You're in trouble. Don't make any difference. You're in trouble. Don't ask. The liars profit. The honest people get into trouble. And so you need to get to a point now where you're asking yourself Why? Why is my life like this? Why am I life like this? Why am I not getting more out of my life? Why? You need to answer those questions because we are at a very critical point in humanity right now. If you do not get the answer to why, you are condemning yourself and indirectly all of us to a very dystopian future. A future that may not last much longer because we have the capacity to totally obliterate ourselves. For the first time in recorded history, we can wipe ourselves out. Could be disease, could be environmental damage, could be nuclear war. I mean, we got it all in front of us. Robots going to take all of our jobs, and they take all of our jobs. That means we got these humans walking around here with no purpose, no meaning in life. Man, that's a prescription to hell. So you have to right now begin to get the answers to why. Why is your life like this? Why are you like this? Why? You need to do that. And the correct answer may be, why not? So with that said, why don't we take a journey to the tarot frequency? Let's begin there. We're going to go to a page I call Astrologic. It's where we take a look at the astrology, the cycles. And today, I focus on the planets Pluto and Neptune. They are the farthest planets that we're aware of, that we commonly accept. And because they are the farthest, they are in many ways the most quiet but most profound. They are the foundation setters upon which every other planetary energy works, manipulates, operates. So it's a very interesting kind of scenario that they set up. But as they move, you can see the shift in terms of attitude, in terms of purpose, in terms of direction. It's not real obvious all the time because you need the other planets. Uranus will come in there and kind of stir things up. Saturn certainly will. Jupiter to a lesser degree, and the smaller planets, they're just there. And they're kind of like timing points. But Pluto and Neptune are powerful. And what I wanted to do today was to take a look at the last time Pluto and Neptune were in the same spot in the sky. It was 1891. 1890s were very, 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 very significant because what we had beginning in the 1890s, give or take a few years, is a complete change in the worldview. And I know that because I can go back to the last time we had Pluto and Neptune in the same place, which was 1398, about 1400, just to round it off. What do we have? The beginning of the Renaissance, the fall of Constantinople, the age of exploration, the planet, our vision expanded, but that wasn't always good. So what we're seeing here in 1891, we have the same thing again. And in fact, at this point, I think around 1891, the big difference is when we had the bankers take over the world. That's when it began. And it began with a philosophy called Zionism. We'll talk about that at another point. But the energy, as you can see, here around 1400, you got the Renaissance, the fall of Constantinople, which totally changed the politics in the Middle East, to be sure. In fact, in Europe, Africa, even Asia, it was profound. And then, of course, we had the age of exploration, where we got out and we went to South America, Central America, North America, conquered them all, killed the Indians, got rid of it. I mean, it's just, there's that kind of power. Same kind of thing happened in 1891. This time it was the Zionist bankers who had the profound effect, and we're still feeling those effects today because Pluto and Neptune still are in aspect. They're not conjunct, they're not in the same place, but they're in an aspect to one another. And so this is a very important time for you to ask yourself and get the answers to why are things the way they are. You need to ask that. How about if we go to the meme? Most people avoid the truth because it shatters their illusion. When the illusions crumble and the false layers peel away, what's left is raw, uncomfortable, undeniable. That's why most people run away from the truth, because once you see, there's no going back. And the old versions must die for the new ones. But those who stand in the fire of truth don't just survive it, they emerge, forged, free, unstoppable. Real growth begins where denial ends, and that's why you have to ask why. We are in a phase with the Pluto-Neptune stuff that created the Renaissance, that changed the politics of the globe in 1400 and did it again in 1890, this time with the Zionist bankers. And we're paying the price for that going on right now. And this is the time where you have to ask why. You have to look for the truth, realizing, man, it could be painful. It could be tough, but you don't have any other choice. Real growth begins where denial ends. Here's a new little piece I'm adding. It's called the missing piece. It's that little bit of information that is helpful for you to understand what we're going through. And again, here I repeat, 1400 AD, major changes in the world. The beginning of the Renaissance, the fall of Constantinople, changed political power in the world. Literally did the entire world, even though it immediately affected Europe, Africa, and Asia. It spread throughout the whole planet. And that led to the exploration and Europe's domination of the planet. That's where it began. That's where it began. And you can see, if you go to 1890 now, when we have Neptune and Pluto together again, see the Zionist bankers taking over the world. And we're paying for that very fact right now. That's why you got to ask why. Got to ask why. Let's go to the tarot, Eight of Swords. This is the way we're living. Most of us are right now. Eight of Swords. We don't want to see it. It's there. This gal. The only thing that's holding her down is her. She feels trapped. She feels powerless. But she can undo her arms. She can get free. She can take off the mask. And she can take a look at behind her. Swords are truth. Swords are information. Swords are data. She could see the truth. She feels it. She's standing almost in this little stream of water. Water is emotion. It's intuition. She knows that there's shit happening. She doesn't want to see. Doesn't want to say, don't tell me the truth. Don't answer the question why, because I don't want to know. Next card, the Hermit. Whether you want to know or not doesn't make any difference. This is an important time to ask why so that you understand. Why are we here? Why am I here? Why is my life so unfulfilling? You got to get those questions answered. But people are afraid of the truth. I don't want to know. I don't want to know because it's going to make me responsible. It's going to put the shoulder or the burden on me. I can't do it. Next card, Page of Wands. If you're willing to ask why, if you're willing to look at the answers, if you're willing to free your source from the prison of your own mind, your own programming from the Eight of Swords, if you are willing to act like the Hermit and pay attention, decipher what the hell is going on, you're going to get the gift from the page. Page of Wands, positivity, enthusiasm, joy, gratitude. That's what you have to do. You got to make the tough journey to truth. Ask why. This is the time now. You want to avoid it? You want to evade it? Get ready for hell. You brought it on. But for those who have decided, I'm tired of blinding myself, I want to understand, I want to ask why, I want answers, you are going to get the connection everybody else is missing. That's it for the reading this time. I thank you very much. I very, very, very much appreciate we have a chance to get together like this every single day. Please remember to like and subscribe, like and subscribe, like and subscribe. It is essential for survival on the internet these days. Thank you very much. Between now and the next time you and I do tarot together, peace and blessings.